she still can't even stand.
She's so wobbly.
Sean Whaley is furious.
She's upset. But 100%.
We're back. Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome into a brand new edition of Axe Cake Picks, episode 217. Today is February 20th. The year is 2026. I'm your host, D-Rock. And joining me from the beautiful state of South Carolina, Joey D. Joey, how you doing today, kid?
Getting humid down here, my friend. You know, the usual. Keeping tabs on all the combat sports events that we have across the globe. You know, One Friday Fights had their Muay Thai bouts this morning. A couple mixed martial arts thrown up in there. You know, always entertaining. But, you know, we'll have a couple things to discuss. But the ones we won't be, and if you want to catch them, I think Lee Wood is taking on Josh Warrington in their boxing bout. Pretty good fighters on that card there. And overseas as well, Cage Warriors have made their 200th event. So it's Cage Warriors 200. It's got to be their biggest event to date.
Is Lee Wood from Nottingham Forest?
I think so.
Yep, that's my guy, Lee Wood.
How about
Absolutely.
that?
Shout out my boy from Nottingham Forest. Okay, we got a great episode for you. We got some news. We'll talk about some boxing news as well. We got UFC Houston, Sean Strickland taking on Fluffy Hernandez. Should be a really good one. We also got a really big fight between Mario Barrios and Ryan Garcia. He tries to defend his WBC welterweight title in Las Vegas, so we'll see how that happens. By the way, you mentioned Lee Woods and Josh Warrington running it back. I think they're actually fighting in Nottingham.
Yeah.
The quote, Clarissa Shields, she's fighting this weekend as well. She rematches Francine Cruz Dezrone.
That's in the States, right?
Yeah. Where you think it is?
It's got to be near her neck of the woods.
I think it's at the Little Caesars Palace in Detroit, where she's from, Michigan.
Really?
Yeah, let's see where it is.
I thought I saw her name come up with the boxing bouts this weekend. Some low cards, you know, not like the Barrios and Garcia one.
Like The Rock said, it doesn't matter what you think. But we got a great episode. Like I said, some boxing, maybe a little Cage Warriors as well. They're out to a big card this weekend as well. 200. And then we got KSW 115 for 10 seconds left. But kid, I do want to start with some news, and we got a banger for UFC 326 March 7th. Michael Johnson taking on Drew Dober. Bet right now, fight not to go the distance.
Yeah, right.
What do you think about that one?
Yeah, man. You know, right. We had that canceled bout. Right between MJ and Hernandez, right? You know, unfortunately, we didn't get to see that. I was riding on MJ. I thought that you know, they're trying to put Alex Hernandez to be this sort of legend killer type character, but there's some moments when he just doesn't accomplish that. And I thought that the match with MJ would have been that. So yeah, I think it's good. He's getting that next fight, and it should be a banger. You know what I mean? Like I think I'm gonna ride Michael Johnson until the wheels fall off.
Till the wheels fall off. I mean, sometimes we say like he has championship aspirations and he has that level, but then sometimes he just puts up some duds, right?
For Alex Hernandez?
No, Michael Johnson.
Well, yeah, yes, you could say the same for him, right? You know, right. He beat Dustin Poirier back in the day. He's beaten some like high level guys. And 100%. So it's just like you said, when you think that championship you know, medal would be pronounced, it just doesn't really come to fruition for him. But
yeah,
hey, who knows? This part of his career, you know, it is the back nine. I mean, we're seeing a lot of life from these guys going 37 to 40, and they're showing some life. You know, if you know they're able to kind of keep their bodies fresh and young and rejuvenated, you know, fear an old man and young man's game. Fear the veterans because they got the knowledge and the experience.
One thing that was not on my bingo card was Ronda Rousey and Gina Carano set to make a 5-round featherweight MMA bout May 16th. It is for MVP Promotions, and it's the first MMA event at the Intuit Dome and the first ever for Netflix. So Netflix getting in the game as well. I read an article that I was like, who's going to sanction this? And it is California, who I think is the gold standard. But they are going to go through a lot of severe tests, especially Ronda Rousey, because, you know, she's had a lot of concussions in her career. Gina Carano is over 40 years old as well. So To be honest, I know a lot of people are hyped. Gina Carano was on the first ever Strikeforce card, and they're legends. Ronda Rousey's arguably the biggest woman name in UFC history, but I'm not really pleased to see this. I mean, it's not going to be good. I don't think at all. Both women haven't fought in years.
It's like a decade going on.
Yeah, it's whack in my opinion. It's cool that MVP's doing the card, but like,
how else are you going to get eyes to that? Netflix is going to outsell Paramount. I do think they outdo them in subscribers, so the number's going to be there. I do think there's money to be made for the fighters themselves and I guess the promotion. But yeah, it's gimmicky, right? Like, these past fighters past their prime. I guess, like I said, it's just to get the MVP promotion into the mixed martial arts world. I've heard a lot of different rumors of what they're going to put the card together as. Hey, might as well keep it creative. It doesn't have to all be restricted mixed martial arts. Look what one does. You could throw in some grappling, maybe heck, throw Jake Paul to box someone on that card if he wants to get into it, since it's his.
He's recovering from his broken jaw.
Yeah, it's still recovering.
Yeah, he just got out of surgery today. Just posted a video.
Oh, I thought that was a little while ago.
No, he's gonna be out for quite a while.
I thought because he had he has his vlog. They got the Paul Ranch, and they had the latest vlog where he already had come out of surgery, and
this is his
second
recovering. Surgery.
That's insane. At that point, I don't think you risk any type of injury. So yeah, I guess it's just time to carry the mantle as a promoter and see what you can do there, because there's not much left to you with fighting. I really if two Josser, it's not going to get any better from here on out.
Thoughts about the fight, though, because I think it's not just gimmicky. Like, why? I know she came out. She was on ESPN. She said, I called Dana White about this proposal. He wanted nothing to do with it. And to be honest, I'm not the biggest Dana White fan, but I kind of agree. No one wants to see that, if I'm being honest.
Well, I don't know. She's, taking the media tour when she first retired, their comeback, and then now again, Ronda Rousey, I'm speaking of being like very arrogant, entitled that, us as the MMA world, fans included, owe her something, but that's not the case. It's very interesting to see how she's approaching these situations. Seems mentally unwell in my eyes. So I hope she's getting all the attention that she needs and that nothing bad comes of the situation. The first time they fought, I'm pretty sure she armbarred Gina Carano, right? That's pretty much what happened. I think Gina Carano's, in her prime, she was known to, she was like probably the pioneer more so than Ronda, coming out. And yeah, she had her, grappling, but I think she would, try to take advantage of the lesser skilled fighters in there. But when you come across a girl like Ronda, who has the judoka background, and she can, utilize some of her submission games, I think it's more of the same as well. To break down the fight, I don't think we're going to get anything different. I think it's probably either going to go to the judges or Gina gets caught in some sort of submission again. So
they never fought.
I thought they fought.
No,
they fought, bro.
I'm looking at her topology right now. They did not fight.
I'm pretty sure they fought.
Look at it.
I know. I think they fought. Did they not?
Not according to topology.
No. Hey, man. I'm pretty sure I remember them fighting. It wasn't in
No, they were supposed to fight UFC. And it never happened.
Yeah. Well, what a shame. But now they're doing it at 40 years old. Like, to your point, I mean,
it has to be for the money. It can't be for anything else.
It's only for the money. It's for the promotion's money. But we're going to be gullible enough to buy it.
I'm not watching it.
Well, there's going to be plenty of people that are, right? I guess you're going to have a lot of casual people that may have heard of the names. And like you're saying, with the subscriber base, maybe they'll just tune in. But man, if you're telling me that
they're on the fight,
why do I have it in my head that I see her getting caught in armbar? I don't know why.
Too much is writing on the fight, because I was like, how are people sanctioning this? And then I look into it and an article comes out like they are going to go undergo very heavy tests before the fight. So the commission says that they are fully clear to fight. Odds on them actually not going through and fighting. That would be hilarious.
Yeah, with all this like promotion and
exactly,
and all the reaction you get from it. It's just like, what's really carrying the show is the clicks. Like, just go viral for announcing it. Nothing comes to fruition, and nobody's to blame. You know what I mean? It's a shame. So likelihood that I say maybe 50-50. Honestly, I think they could get there. They could get to the point where they're actually going to fight. Yeah. But like you said, with them being 40 plus years of age and all the, the epitome of divaship, I think would be into this matchup as well. Any type of obstacle or hiccup, you could easily see a pullout happening from either side.
100%. We also had some boxing news. It was rumored for about a month, maybe a few months now, the exhibition bout between Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather. I think it's going to take place at the Republic of Congo in April of 2026, April 25th. What did you say?
Is that the only place that'll sanction it?
Yeah, I'm assuming so at this point. But that's kind of fucking crazy. Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. I mean, we saw, like, regardless of pulling punches or not, you saw Mike just a shell of himself, and the man's 50 plus years of age. And yeah, Floyd's up there, but I don't know. He didn't have to carry around a lot of weight throughout his life, and I'm pretty sure he will still be training. And you're probably going to have to pick Floyd Mayweather to win that fight if it's really going to happen.
The unanimous decision. So,
I don't know. Remember what he did to what's his name out there in Japan? The Big Show. That's crazy.
I'm burying the lead, and I'm doing it on purpose. But the biggest news of the week had to be the release of the former UFC heavyweight champion, the legend himself, Cain Velasquez. He was released, rightfully so. He should have spent 0 days in jail, but that's for another podcast.
The law's the law, and it doesn't have to make sense.
Yeah, but he is out. He is with his family. I'm glad that they had the mariachi band, or how do you pronounce it?
The mariachi band.
Mariachi band.
On his arrival. That was so cool.
They had it on his arrival, and that was amazing. It's good to see him back home with his family where he belongs, and he's a legend, and I hope we see him more at UFC events.
Yeah, I think you blur the lines the law did with vigilantism, because it wasn't that. It was him defending his family. And as we discussed when it first occurred almost a year ago, if any man it was right, see, in his eyes, you'd know that was the right thing to do. And he did what he needed to do to protect his family. And I'm glad he's back with his family, and watch him be able to give back to the community, because I'm pretty sure that's what he was doing before. He was at AKA training the next generation of fighters and giving back to his community. So that's all I've seen from Cain Velasquez. I've always seen him to be a stand-up guy. Like, to your point, he should have never served a day. I think we all have Cain Velasquez's back.
Yeah. Shout out Cain. I was screaming free Cain Velasquez till it was backwards, but love that kid. Let's get into some picks, but before we do that, a quick word from our sponsor. We're brought to you each and every episode by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market. Hands down, there's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition. With only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV. Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebration, as it was created with the active lifestyle in mind. We flavor our tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives, whether it's Huckleberry playing around a golf with the boys or an elderberry watching UFC Houston. It doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with our Artisanal Blanco tequila for that friendly and successful drink. Our message here is to live long, live well, and live it up. All righty, let's get back into it, kid. It was a nice little weekend off. If you guys had, anything for Valentine's Day, it was nice to get that going. And now we're back. UFC Houston, headline by Sean Strickland and Anthony fucking Hernandez.
Yes, I'm glad you said it.
I can't wait for it, kid. I love this fight.
You hear the backstory, hearing the story from Sean Strickland, coming from an abusive background, his father, beating his mom and him and his family, like how the struggle is there. To Anthony Hernandez speaking about the relationship he had with his father and how endearing it was, and then having to struggle through his passing and overcoming that, making his debut and so forth. Just two kind of polar opposite personalities, and I think both very vicious individuals. So I think it's going to be an excellent main event, and hell, we're hoping to bring together a better record than just 500, because, as you said, Valentine's was last week. We went 500. I went 5 for 5 with Octagon 84. As my degenerate self, I had to get involved overseas with our friends at Octagon. So let's make it back. Let's make it right back down to Texas, near the coastline for UFC Houston. I'm seeing the first fight kick off in the flyweight division here. The women's flyweight division, we have Carly Judas here, big favorite. I think possibly the first fight of night, surprising. She's the biggest favorite on the card. -600 and up, I'm seeing for Carly Judas here against Juliana Miller, the Ultimate Fighter winner, plus 625. Now, I'm guessing the odds indicate that Judas is favored to get a finish here. I look at Juliana Miller, and I do like her, though she has shown signs of sloppiness in there. I think she's a tough chick, and I just don't see her getting put away. I think at this lighter weight, 125 pounds, I just think that the finishes are harder to come from. Though Judas always, you see it as you get to the second and third round, she's going for the finish. She's got cardio for days. She's got volume, and it may be a little bit of a sweat early here, but I'm going to try and squeeze the juice out of Carly Judas because she's the obvious right side. But I'm going to go with the unanimous decision pick. So I'm starting it off with Judas via unanimous decision at plus 265 because I wasn't willing to play the point spread. But, hey, we're getting some plus value on picking what type of points victory it would be, and it's going to be unanimous. I say literally 30-27, all three cards, and might even get a 10-8 round depending on how it goes in the later stages.
You know where I'm going, kid?
Where are you going?
In this fight? Give me Carly Judas, kid. I'm going to start it off heavy favorite, but I think she could get the job done. I like the over 2.5. I think it could go all 3 rounds. Fight to go the distance at plus 160, but I think she could get the job done. So I'm going to go Carly Judas here. Heavy favorite, but to get it down, I like the fight to go the distance.
Oh, you like that too? See, yeah. So we're kind of feeling it the same way. I think that's a good start. I think she's the right side, man. I think the odds makers have her right. Anybody willing to put a little bit down on Juliana Miller, I just say be warned. I say you might like her. You might be betting a little more hard than you had on that. But let's go to the featherweights here. I'm thinking kind of as well. This is more to the end, the run of the Monkey God. Jordan Levitt, I think, is on his way out here. Yadier Del Val, I think he's a serious up-and-coming fighter here. Odds do indicate that as well. Minus 400 on the card compared to Jordan Levitt at plus 330. Give me DeVal inside the distance here. I think it can even happen in the first round, but it's to play it a little bit safe. I'll lay that chalk at minus 160. Del Val inside the distance. Now, as we move along to a welterweight showdown, John Paul Lebzoyani is minus 200 against Phil Rowe, and Philly Fresh baby never disappoints at plus 175. I'm hammering Phil Rowe. If you look at most of his finishes, man, that third round is to be worried about. Look what happened with John Paul sneaking away with his victory, his debut. He really looked sluggish in that third round. So I'm thinking Phil Rowe, if he may fall down on the scorecards, you may be sweating a little bit, but never fear, Phil Rowe is here. Plus 175, I'm taking a dog.
Dog hunt, I love it.
Yeah, that's our boy. We've been making money with this. All right, another welterweight showdown. Brahimaj. Yeah, Brahimaj. Right, he's training at Serra Longa, right? Or did he move camps? I remember you mentioning something about him moving to camp, but I like his ability to close the show. I think that's what the money's coming in on him. It's close odds against Punahele Soriano. But maybe the level of confidence is something to worry about. Look at Soriano's last 3, the records, the names that he's fought compared to Brahimaj. I mean, I think there's question marks there between like Vanderford and the lot of them. So, man, I'll take the slight puppy here. I think Punahele Soriano may have the power advantage too. Brahimaj is slick, man. Maybe the submission is to worry about, but I think Soriano has the power edge, and maybe even just if it comes down to grappling, he may be able to stay on top of the wrestling exchanges. I think Brahimaj might need to, what has he been catching people with? He's been catching with that guillotine. And when you jump Gilly, it doesn't always work out. It's not always successful. So even though he's slight dog, I think Soriano has more ways to win. So I'm taking Punahele Soriano here at plus 105.
Yeah, give me the other. I'm going the other side. Soriano, he's made some noise, but I'm just not sold on his stability right now. His wins come against guys with massive losing streaks, and they've been largely relying on his ability to score takedowns. He's 9 of 17 on takedowns in those 3 fights. So while he needs him, he hasn't been all that effective on him. And on the other side, my boy Ramirez, one clung to his takedowns is his method as, being composed in there. And I think, I think he's actually in Valley Flow Striking Academy. Do you know where that
Travis Luter is his coach for Brahimaj.
Yeah. He has the finishing ability, and he's on a 3-fight win streak. All finishes. He gets a performance bonus as well. He's dropping people with his hands, and I feel like when people are doing that, they're getting more aggressive as the fight goes on. So He's always been solid, stuffing some takedowns. So I think key to victory, if you stuff the takedowns, I think he's more dangerous. So I'm gonna go the favorite minus 130.
Fair, man. We're opposite sides for the first time. And like I said, it's just, wrestling heavy opponents for Brahimaj, Mickey Gall, Billy Ray Gall, Vanderford. I just don't see them being multifaceted with the stand-up. But if you look at Soriano's, right, look who one of the opponents is in the co-main event slot. He beat Uros Medic. So, and Nikolai Veretnikov, just what he did, touched Nico Price, got him out of there like no big deal. Remember how high we are on Miguel Baeza? Hey, brother, may the best man win in that one. As we move along, we're going to go ahead and touch this women's fight here. I see rematch. Yeah, bantamweights here. Nora Corniole is being counted out plus 300, but she beat Jocelyn Edwards back in the day. But Edwards is minus 310. And I'm agreeing. I think she snuck it out. I don't really remember that fight. She may have like snuck out a judge's decision there, maybe by a split or a controversial unanimous decision. But I'm just thinking like Jocelyn Edwards is going to come in, want to get that L off her record and redeem herself with the victory here. So I'm going to make her a leg of a parlay because I'm going to play her on the money line. I see the finishing capability live, but with the women's fights, there's always a decision on the table. So yeah, I'll just have her as a first leg of a 2-leg money line parlay. Back-to-back fights, I'll tell you next. You have anything on that?
No, I'm not anything to the main card.
Right on. So this is the reason why I'm combining it with this flyweight fight next. Louis Garul, he has not looked good in the UFC. His past 3 fights, talking about, letting them slip. He's really not met the moment here. And I do think this should probably be more of a drastic difference in odds. I like the minus 300 actually we're getting for Alden Correa. I think it should be more. I really do. I'm all in on Alden Correa. I think the finish happens here. He's got a gas tank. He's got volume. He's got power. He's got grappling. I think he's going to get a finish at one point during this fight. So I just think a money line play is here because he could dominate and he could just, take it to the scorecard. So with Jocelyn Edwards getting a redemption and Correa making a statement win here, combine them together. The massive favorites, over $3 favorites, will get you down to minus 131 on the 2-leg. It's not too bad laying that. But let's go talk about Odi Osborne getting a chance here against Alibi Idris, right?
Who?
Yeah, I think he came from the Ultimate Fighter. I know he lost to
10-1.
Yeah, he lost to Morales, I think, or Delgado. He was an ex-fighter, ex-UFC guy, made their way back. Right, I think it was Morales or it was Delgado. I forgot. But
you're all over the place today, kid.
I think he's a good wrestler. I think he could probably grind out Odi Osborne. Odi Osborne is really like a catch you type of fighter, try to knock you out at this lower weight class because he carries power, but I think that's where his game. I mean, look, he caught Louis Garul. So I think the thing is here, you got to fade Garul like I did in the fight before. And I just don't see a lot coming out of the Ozzy Osborne corner. So I'm going to fade him here too. Give me Idris on the money line, minus 125.
That'd be a big win for him.
That is a big win. I think getting a win over Ozzy Osborne, I think, does something for you. But that division, the 125-pound division, is getting deeper and deeper by the day.
Right now, Ode Osborne is ranked the 26th flyweight in the world, and his opponent's 47th. That's a big jump.
Right in the top 25.
Yeah, 100%. That's a big win.
But I think we're now
here.
Yeah, this is not the main card though, right? This is just the main event of the prelims.
I don't know. I can't see it.
Oh yeah, you're saying UFC thing is down, right?
Yeah.
How do I got it up? That's coming up here. It's the main event of the preliminary card. Anthony Njokuani's brother, Chidi Njokuani, is taking out Carlos Leal. Man, I think people are expecting a finish in this one.
Oh, yes.
Chidi Njokuani is a dog here at plus 115, but I think he's live. Leal did not look good his last time out, but he's getting the odds here at minus 125. I think a sneaky play is I'm going to Dylan's well, and I'm going to steal some water because I like the fight to start round 2 at minus 120. Yeah, I'm thinking that, if you can make it out of the first round, it's just free money. Like, easily you could see this fight ending in the first round. Both of these guys have a lot of finishes there, but they also have them in the second and third round. You got some decisions between the two of them scattered on the card. I think this is one of the few times that I'm kind of fading what I'm seeing in terms of what everyone else is. They're seeing a finish, but I think the finish can happen at least in round 2 or 3. So yeah, fight to start round 2 for Njokuani and Leal at -120.
I like it. I'm gonna take Chidi and Njokuani
Yeah.
plus 110. You said plus 115. Shop around. I like the under 1.5 rounds at -150. I don't
That's all we
mind.
need. Get into the
Yeah.
second round.
Yeah, exactly. We could both win. So I don't mind laying the juice here. And I just think a finish is going to happen here. You know, Njokuani, he's 4 inches taller. He has a 6-inch reach advantage as well. He's the better striker. And, you know, even though he is 37 years old, I just think Carlos Lee, I didn't know this, but he was a member of the Fighting Nerds. And let's be honest, all the talent there, he might be the least talented on the fighting team. But, you know, he is the younger fighter. And, you know, I don't know. There was an embarrassment after that Muslim Salikov fight he had in his last bout. He got stopped by the 41-year-old, and that's tough, you know. But Carlos Lee, he gives away height in this fight, experience, and I just don't know. And Chidi Njokuani, he enters this fight off of his own loss, first round submission, but that's against Jake Matthews, I think, and I don't know.
Kid's always good, man.
Yeah, he is good. I just think, you know, the IQ, the reach advantage, I just think it might be a little too much. I think it could go either way, but I don't believe it's going to go the distance. So my favorite bet is the under 1.5, but I'm going to take, in a coin flip fight, I'm going to take the dog here.
I like it, yeah. And I think he carries a little more power. Look at Anthony Njokuani. I think he's got a lot of knockouts, and Chidi's not far behind him either. Yep. They got some power in the family. So let's get going on this main card, I say. I like this middleweight matchup to start it up. I think it's exciting. The thing about Zach Reese for me is I feel like, man, you get slammed by Cody Brundage, man. I don't know what to expect from you. You come in to fight Michel Pereira. Michel Pereira, you know, granted, I think he shot himself in the foot, his own, but maybe you've seen all these videos he's coming out with. He looks to be in great shape. He looks to be pretty focused here. Still kicking backs and having a good time. I know people were making fun of, he was gaming, but you don't know how hard these guys are going in camp to go home and get some time to relax and, hey, make some money streaming. Why not, you know? So I don't think there's much there. I think Michel Pereira has that explosive capability here. The two losses that he's look at these guys. They're rising stars. I mean, Kyle Dawkins comes back. He looks like a world beater. And I think the loss to Anthony Fletcher Hernandez is not bad, especially depending on what's going to happen in the main event. It could look to be a very good loss, and you know how you can improve from your losses. So yeah, I really think that with the way Pereira's style is, Zach Reese could catch a crazy knee, could catch some sort of meme type of KO here. I think Zach Reese unfortunately catches those memes. So yeah, give me Michel Pereira -140.
I love it. I mean, I don't have anything on this fight, but all I'll say is if you lose to Zachary Reese, I'm not in the business of retiring fighters, but you got to be done.
Yeah, that's why I think it's like all or nothing for Pereira here.
Yeah,
like if I lose that bet, I would be like, it figures because I decided to put some money.
I can't get him right, and he's a favorite at -155. I can't, Joe. I can't lay that. I'm sorry.
No, you might have to go take Zach Reese on. But you can't take the Zach Reese pick.
But I can't take his side either. That's the thing.
No. And it's like, bro, these guys could gas in the first round. I don't want to touch the total here.
Yeah.
So I'm taking a chance, you know, but it is the main card. So, you know, I had to get involved for us.
You're all about taking chances in life.
That's exactly right. And maybe I'm doing the same in this next one because, bro, your boy, Josiah Harrell, is going to step in on short notice to take on world-class wrestler and Oklahoma State alum Jacoby Smith. I mean, the dude looks like he is absolutely geeked out of his mind, and the odds indicate that he should win this handily, -290, but not so fast, my friend. I think the hands are registered for Joel Harrell.
Wow.
I think Josiah Harrell has a good gas tank. I think he can stay alive. I think that's the main thing until it gets into the second, third round. I think what you've seen from Jacoby Smith is seeing that he's gassing in the second and third round. You've seen it. He's escaping his opponents. After he's had the crazy dominant first rounds, you're seeing a complete fall off here. And I think their Harrell is just going to keep coming here. So to me, the short notice fight, look what he just did, right? On the regional scene. I think he's going to come in swinging +285. I could even go and say a third round KO TKO, but man, I'll just play that money line because +285 is so sweet.
Second stint in the UFC, correct, Josiah Harrell?
Yeah, wasn't it that he had to battle cancer or something?
Yeah. So it's a great story, taking it on short notice, and you know, that's not always good for Jacoby Smith or any opponent. You know, having to adjust your game plan for a much different fighter, and you know, what do we say, Joe? It's always hardest taking on an opponent who has nothing to lose at this point. This man's beating cancer. What did we just talk about with the Pitbull?
You're the only one there in the audience backing my guy, in the media, in the fandom.
Anything. I was standing up clapping and people looked at me like I had 5 heads. I was like, listen, I had a feeling, and I'm glad you have the feeling now because I can't back Jacoby Smith either. It's dog or pass for me. So, yeah, it's a feel-good story. I'm rooting for the guy, and regardless, I think he did the UFC a favor in taking this fight, and I hope they reward with him with like at least a 3-4 fight contract.
That's right. You do that, man, right? And I'm also slamming all my XP on him. 600 XP from Verdict. I'm all in, man. We're going to win. We're going to make it. Let's go to a heavyweight matchup where Ante D'Elia is surging towards the title. I feel like you get through Sergey Spivak, and I think this heavyweight is so thin, man. He might be one away. I honestly believe that. I really do. Right? We just saw the likes of Gable Stevenson at a regional pro get head kick, get spinning wheel kick by Luis Perdomo or whoever the guy's name was. Yeah. So I mean, it's really needing new life, and Ante D'Elia could give that. We've seen him in the PFL, champion a couple times. And having the finishing capability here. And, Sergey Spivak also likes to go for arm bars, and he likes to wrestle heavy. And I think with the bigger guys, submissions on the table there. So slight clash of styles. I like the under. I've been actually taking the over in a lot of heavyweight fights. You're seeing some sloppy fights go the distance, but I actually feel like these two guys can get after it. So, yeah, I think the odds are fair. I think Spivak is a slight dog. I agree at plus 120, and D'Elia, coming in hot at minus 125. Give me the under 2.5 rounds at minus 190. I'll lay it.
Yeah, I think with Sergey Spivak, he has struggled against the more athletic, powerful opponent who kind of uses the footwork and mobility to kind of create angles and kicks and strikes. So 5 of his 6 UFC losses, all finishes for Spivak. So
he got lost. He got knocked out.
Yeah. So they've come against, athletic people. So, and I think in Ante D'Elia, we've seen the kind of template that he has the style of an athlete who can provide problems for the polar bear. So, hopefully the camp was good, but I think he's more athletic. I think he has the power, and I think he has the blueprint to be the better fighter in this one. So, yeah, I worry though in my gambling now. He opened up a minus 185. The number has come down to minus 140. So the money is coming in on the polar bear, and that worries me a little bit. Think the sharps are on Spivak here.
Remember, he finished Waldo Cortez Acosta. Look where he is now.
Yeah.
Look where Acosta is right now, right at the title. So that's why I say Ante is right there.
I just think for Sergey Spivak, he needs to execute the grappling exchanges. But in order to do that, he's going to need to enter the firestorm, and where Ante D'Elia is quicker, more refined, powerful. He's the better striker. And I think that's where he takes over this fight.
Yeah, look who he kept up with in the PFL. Kappa Loza, Rob Wilkinson. I mean, these guys are strikers first.
Yeah, so I just think he has the speed, the power, and I don't think it's going to go the full 15. I took the over 1.5 at minus 130, and I got Ante D'Elia at minus 140. I'm going to zig when people are zagging.
Let's see here. You go Ante D'Elia on the money line, and what did I do? I do under 2.5. How about this? If you go with D-Rock and go Ante D'Elia over 1.5, you're getting plus 258. That's not bad, actually. I think it could be a little slow paced. And honestly, the under that I'm taking, if it's so chalky, I may just switch my pick. And I don't do this often, but I think I'm gonna be with you. I'll take the Ante because I just like the odds way more than laying that minus 190. I just don't think I could do that. So I'm going to go Ante D'Elia with the over 1.5. D-Rock said plus 258. Let's go for it.
Let's go.
All right. Now, man, we're getting a new nickname here because this featherweight matchup has Dan 100K Ige. You heard the news? I don't know if you know.
Yeah.
You didn't get the news? You didn't hear about it?
No, it's crazy because I put you on.
Yeah. You did. 100K Ige plus 180. I think there's some money to be made here. But Mel Costi on the side, man, the Dalmatian, minus 190. I mean, he looks great, right? He's on this 4-fight winning streak, couple finishes, the head kick he's coming off of. Riding high right now. but it is a big step up in competition. And Dan Ige is cashed for us time and time again. Coming off the tough fight against Patricio Pitbull, I really feel like that was a short notice fight. So he's getting a little bit of a camp here, and I think he's going to be hungry for a win. I think he's going to want to teach Mel Costa a lesson here. So I'm going to take the dog. I'm going to take 100K Dan Ige at plus 180 because he's made money for us before in the spots.
Yeah, nothing for me in this one.
It's a tough one, right?
Yeah,
You're betting with your heart.
I think
Costa.
Yeah, exactly. And I think Costa's the right side, but I would have to back 100K. That's just my guy. I just think Costa's better.
He's good.
Now.
He's good. Let's see what happens if that fight hits the mat.
Yeah.
Co-main event time, welterweight showdown. When is the last time Jeff Neal hasn't brought it? Every single time Jeff Neal steps in there, hands of steel, absolutely brings it, man. Minus 175, maybe a little heavy on him than I would expect against Earl
Too
Smith.
heavy.
Yeah, I like Earl Smith a lot. Plus 185, man. I think he's live, but since I like both guys here, I think they're going to go out swinging. Fight ends via KO, TKO, or disqualification at plus 125. I think someone's going to sleep. No fights for Medic has ever gone the distance.
Yeah. No, nothing for me here. It's dog or pass. Jeff Neal's too big of a favorite. I don't believe he should be this big of a favorite.
Yeah, that's why I took that prop on how the fight went.
Credit him. He's been very open recently, I think the last few months, about his using drugs and weed and alcohol and, trying to escape.
Coping mechanisms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So shout out him for being very vulnerable and opening up, but I can't take someone who's like that.
I understand. But here we go for UFC Houston. The main event has arrived.
Yep.
I think it's a number one title contender in my eyes. Sean Strickland gets a win over.
Even if Sean wins?
Yeah, 100%. If he beats an 8-fight win streak, Anthony Hernandez here, what else is there to prove at the middleweight division? But the same is going to be said for Anthony Fluffy Hernandez. So, D-Rock, you like the minus 245 you're getting for Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, or do you think the dog is live in Sean Strickland?
No, the dog is not live. I know you put out a free play over on your
So you kind of already know my play. I got Strickland being an unanimous decision. It's boring. Plus 500. It's just unfortunately, I think everyone is backing Anthony Hernandez. And in this spot, I got to fade the public, even though they'd be right. I've been rooting on Anthony Hernandez for quite a while here. And it's just, I think the matchup is going to be rough. If he can't get Sean Strickland down, I think it's going to be a long night.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And I actually like the over a little better. It's gone up, so money has come in my way, thankfully, this time. I got the over 4.5 at minus 145. It's up to minus 160.
Wow.
If you could get a little better, fight to go the distance, I like that. I just think this man hasn't lost since COVID. No. He just continues to win and win. And yes, it's crazy, seeing the price on former champion Sean Strickland. It is crazy. I just think Anthony fucking Hernandez, he's just going to try to maneuver this fight into the clinch. He's going to try to take him down. And, Sean Strickland has great takedown defense, and he's going to try to overcome you. He's going to try to force the pressure. But I think this fight, Anthony Hernandez is going to force the pressure, and he's going to put him on his back foot. So, I think should Sean Strickland keep this fight standing, he certainly could win this fight. There's no doubt. However, to your point, if he makes the one mistake, he might find himself on the back for the 5 minutes. And then he's going to be reacting to the constant attack of Hernandez. And I just think it's over at that point. So I do think it's important to note, like you said, Sean Strickland is dangerous. And, we saw this already, or even as a bigger underdog. He went to the land down under and won as a 5-1 underdog against Israel Adesanya. So it could happen.
Yeah.
Who knows? Who fucking knows? But I also think, excuse me, if you look over at the Green Book, no free shout-outs, but if you look over there, the point spread handicap, it's at Sean Strickland plus 9.5 at minus 120. Should Hernandez win
that plus 9.5 points?
Yeah.
How does that work?
Because I think it's over 5 rounds. It's different than a 3.
Yeah, but over. I mean, that's the thing. For what I've been hearing, right? And I've been asking AI. I've been asking some other people. It's like when you're seeing that minus 3.5, we're hoping for a finish or them to get a 10-8 round. Like we've always been at a disadvantage. Are you saying? Have you ever been able to bet like the point spread?
Yeah, I do it a lot actually. I won with Rose.
Have they hit like you said? What do you normally lay? Minus 3.5.
Plus 3.5. I usually take it.
Usually take it, but it is at that point. So that's the thing. You're taking plus 3.5. That's completely at your advantage because even if you lose by 30 to 27, you got that hook. You have that 0.5, right?
Correct. Yeah.
So that's what I was saying. It's like if you lay that 3.5, then you're hoping for a finish or a 10-8 round thrown in there. That's the thing.
Or he just needs to win. He just needs to win one on.
So that's what I'm saying.
Touch.
Wouldn't it be like just 4.5 or 5.5? That's why 9.5 to me blew me away when you mentioned it. I apologize.
No, you're good. I like you say, if Hernandez wins all 5 rounds, obviously the bet's gonna lose. But if this fight is competitive, even for 4 rounds, and one result on all 3 judges' cards would grade Strickland a winner. So
yeah,
I don't believe Anthony Hernandez finishes Strickland, and I believe the line is kind of high, if I'm being honest.
Yeah,
so
it's pretty heavy in
I misspoke. It's plus 4.5.
Okay. So exactly what we just kind of defined.
Yeah,
so I'm glad we specified. Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's plus 4.5. I take that. I'll take that plus a minus 120 with Sean Strickland. He could win a round. Anthony Hernandez is a slow starter, and he just needs to win it on one judge's card. And I think an ex-champion, he might get the nod.
That's a great pick, man. I took a chance as with the dog going even further and taking him unanimous decision because how else are you going to take Sean Strickland?
Exactly. But should be really fun. 5 p.m. start time here on the East Coast.
That.
Paramount.
I love that.
At the Toyota Center in Houston, Texas. Cannot wait.
Derek Blue should have fought on that card. This card, be real.
Yeah, I agree.
They messed that up.
Let's go to the Mario Barrios and Ryan Garcia. Mario Barrios will defend his WBC welterweight title against Ryan Garcia in lovely Las Vegas. Kid, I will let you lead it off. I know it's on DAZN if you want to watch it. It starts around 5:45 Eastern, so right around UFC Houston as well.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot of fights. I think there's some entertaining fighters on there. Turkalashik always puts on a good card because it is the ring's card, the ring high stakes. So you got guys like Anthony Hiroka. He's fighting. The co-main event has Oscar Duarte. I think he's a pretty good Mexican fighter. I think he lost to Ryan Garcia a little while, but I thought I might have taken him because we didn't know what was going on with Ryan Garcia now. But I think he's honed it in, right? I think you look at Ryan Garcia, and I know he lost to Rolly that last time out, but think about it. Rolly's good, and it was coming off of like him getting that win taken away from Devin Haney. I think that does something to you mentally. And like I was saying, we all have these question marks about Ryan Garcia throughout his career. So I'm just hoping we get a committed guy who's going to want to get a belt here legitimately. I think he has the power advantage. I think that's a given here. And a lot of people are speaking that this guy, Ryan Garcia, the only way he can win is if he knocks him out or if he, wins on a scorecards by knocking down Mario Barrios. But Mario Barrios is very crafty, and I know he's coming off 2 consecutive draws. But it's Manny Pacquiao we're talking about, and that match before was very stylistically heavy against him, and he did pretty well there. So I think this is a very close fight. I do like Ryan Garcia's side. I think, like I said, I got to go with, if we're looking at the 2 fighters here, Barrios will probably have more of output, but it's just the power. If you're looking at judges, they might see that he's landing heavier shots, and though he might not have the amount, the volume, you could score in favor of Ryan Garcia. So, I like the Ryan Garcia decision. I think, like I said, too many people for my liking are on him to get a finish here. I don't think Mario Barrios is a pushover by any stretch. I mean, he's a WBC champion for a reason. So I think plus 240, Ryan Garcia is the favorite here, and the finish is favorited. I'm on the opposite. I'm on the Garcia via decision at plus 240. And like I said, people are saying that he's going to need a knockdown or a finish to win. Not so fast. I think there could be no knockdowns in this fight, and Ryan Garcia could still win by points or decision. And you double up the odds you're getting to plus 430. So, like I said, I'm going to hammer home those 2 bets. I'm going to take him with the decision, and I'm going to take him to win without even a knockdown.
I love it. I mean, I'm on Garcia too. It's a little chalky. I like the over 10.5 round. No, I think it's 9. 10.5 rounds at minus 135.
Going 12, right?
Yeah, if you like the fight to go the distance like Joe, you could just take that, have not even a side, and it's minus 112. I like that as well. Fight to go the distance at -112. I think it goes all 5 rounds. I do like Ryan Garcia. If he shows up a mess mentally, I think Mario Barrios could be the more consistent and
But he's not going to drop him like Rolly did.
Dependable fighter, and I think that could be enough. I think, his experience, his dependability, his heart, I think maybe that gets him across the finish line. But I think if Garcia is halfway together, I think he's the better boxer, and I think he wins. I think Garcia, he becomes the new WBC welterweight champion. So I'm going to take him, but I like more fight to go the distance in over 10.5 rounds.
Yeah. Well, I could see, as I mentioned, the significant strikes or the strikes landed. I do think Barrios may be the one to win that. So if you could find a prop bet for one to have the more landed strikes, I think Barrios could win in that category. So. But we did cover all the news, right? We already did all that, right? No news kind of breaking or anything? You're muted.
Sorry, I was out here fucking talking. Sorry. No, you're good. Only news I have, we're up 2-0 after 1. USA, baby. Tage Thompson and Dylan Larkin against
Moving
Slovakia.
quick, because just like the last couple of games, we've been late scores, and now we're trying to pull ahead early, so.
So good, though. So good for us to be back. Shout out the women. Shout out the women. What a game.
Yeah.
But yeah, you want to do 10 seconds left, KSW 115?
Yeah, let's take us out with that.
Yep, what do you got?
We love our friends over at KSW. 115 events, man. We're hoping to get there to cover some of it. KSW Bantamweight Championship is on the line. Sebastian Prisbiad, -350. He's taking on Vitaly Yakimenko at +275. And I just think the skill level's too much. I think Prisbiad has been there, done that, and I think he's going to get a win. And he will retain his Bantamweight Championship and continue defending that belt for the time being. So, yes, I'm going to take the favorite, and I'm going to take the chalk. No lines posted yet, but keep an eye on it, because we see a lot of times with these promotions, those drop late.
Yeah. All right, kid. Well, thank you so much. Enjoy. What are you doing this weekend? You got 2 screens up? Going to Buffalo Wild Wings?
No, we're going to save that for the next numbered event, but probably going to catch a Coastal baseball game before watching the fights. You know what I mean?
How's Coastal this year?
They did drop a game middle of the week, Tuesday against Charleston, but at the end of the day, it's not easy to start the season off. Your number 6 ranked team in the country. All eyes are on you. The pressure's there, so I'm pretty sure they won last night, and I'm sure they'll continue it on. Or it's today they won. I'm pretty sure they won today, and they're going to continue it tomorrow. All
right, kid. Well,
let's go USA.
Yep, Team USA. Let's bring home the gold, kid. Good luck. Enjoy your weekend, and we'll see you guys on Friday. Peace.